alive. Next thing you know, Pop is taking a bite out of grandma, and not in the fun way, bro. I'm brick. 5 broke me. Emotional heater. I can take 4 at once, just not in a fight. Oh my god. Why you wouldn't survive The Walking Dead? I'll tell y'all niggas right now, I'm very reasonable with this topic. I'm talking about real survival. I'm talking about rationing your food. I'm talking about how do we enter a building and check your surroundings. I'm Metal Gear Goon. Don't forget that, bro. My stealth game, like, y'all not really stealthy like that. I already know how y'all be moving in chat. Y'all not stealthy.
In the world of The Walking Dead, we see humanity brought to the very brink of extinction by a mysterious disease.
I blow my shit smooth off in the game. Yeah.
Wiping out over 99% of the world's population.
Crazy.
And turning people into flesh-eating monsters, referred to in the series as walkers.
Right.
Although that all sounds very bad on paper, I still think a lot of people watch this.
I'd be able to fight off the zombies, but everything else I'm cooked. Okay. This is my question. Oinkers, I give you 1 to 2. As soon as it's 3 zombies, you're cooked because you're gonna try and brute force them. Okay. Me, I'm gonna outsmart these zombies. I'm gonna have hella traps. I'm gonna have hella weapons. You have to have at least 6 weapons on you, minimum. Grenade, loud. You took out maybe 10, 15. Now you got 45 marching down the road on you, bro. More grenades. Okay, well, I can't fight that logic. If you have 85 grenades on you, bro, you might just be, that buff might be too strong. Just dome the zombies with a basketball. Yeah, though they gonna catch that shit like it's dodgeball, and then you're out, gang. It's over for you.
Series and think, yeah, surviving in this world would be a piece of cake. I'm sure I could morph into a prime Rick Grimes, grab my red-handled machete, and start hacking some slow-moving zombies to death.
That's what I'm saying.
Here to be the bearer of bad news and tell you you're very wrong.
Dunk on them.
When society collapses, there are far deadlier
BigBabyShay. I'm not saying I'm eating them.
Walker bites. So this is why you wouldn't survive The Walking
Let's talk about it. Let's get into the nitty gritty. I feel like y'all can handle one walker.
That there's more to worry about than just being bitten by a walker, but we must first address
everyone here can handle one
in the room, and that is the flesh-eating reanimated corpses that call this universe home. Now, at first glance, any zombie seen in the series post-season 1, I'll admit, would be fairly easy.
If I had a lot of space, I could take 2.
But not only did the series creator Robert Kirkman confirm that the zombies in this universe outnumber the living roughly 5,000 to 1.
Like, I'm telling you, in this world, you turn down the wrong street or the wrong alley, you could be facing 50 of them shits, bro. You know what I'm saying? Towie, I could handle probably 4. Towie, you're 4 foot something. Talk about I can handle 4. There's only 4 feet of you. What are we talking about? I can take 4 at once, just not in a fight. Oh my god. It hurts. Hey, bro. That's the TGC demon right there. Holy fuck. Towie Sam. Okay.
But I also see people, when tackling this hypothetical scenario, totally dismiss one crucial fact. And that is the concept of zombie media just doesn't exist in the world of The Walking Dead. I mean, think
what does that mean?
We've all grown up watching Shaun of the Dead, playing Plants vs. Zombies, or binging horror films, and because of this, we are familiar with the fairly universal rules of these undead monsters.
Right, but they would too, no?
Brain to kill them.
Yes.
Fight means you're infected.
Right.
And avoid population-dense areas at all costs.
Right.
But the people of the Walking Dead universe, with you included if you were dropped into it, would have no idea of these aforementioned zombie rules, or even the concept of a zombie itself. It would just be a totally alien concept, decreasing your chances of survival.
I'm gonna take this one right now. I do get what bro's saying. I think even in The Walking Dead, like, this is a civilization, right? That's like modern. They got movies and shit. Someone made up a zombie movie. I'm taking this whole point out.
Massive.
I get what he's saying though.
Let me set the scene for you all. One night, your dad becomes sick with a strange illness, and that night, whilst asleep in the room,
hold on, no, he might be right. Because Loki, when we played Walking Dead, the Telltale one, season 3, them dumbasses at the beginning did not realize that Grandpa was a zombie. They were like, Grandma, Pop's alive. He looked like he want to braid your hair. Next thing you know, Pop is taking a bite out of grandma, and not in the fun way, bro.
You wake up to the excruciating pain of your own father biting into your arm. But your immediate reaction after waking up would not be to smash your dad's skull in with a lamp and amputate your infected
That's true.
arm,
Never mind,
because
I'm
you
back.
wouldn't even understand the sheer severity of the situation.
It's
until
over.
It was way too late. And I know that example sounds incredibly niche and specific, but this is exactly how millions of people would be caught.
That's so true.
When a loved one is burning,
So many of y'all are getting cooked
violently. Our instincts would be to comfort them, try and calm them down.
I've not watched enough of this show.
Or call an ambulance, not grab a shotgun and end their existence. And it's this fundamental lack
That's
of
so
knowledge
true. You
that
see
would
you see
sweep
family or
across the
friends as
planet,
zombies.
causing the death of
I
millions.
don't think that's what we're talking
Long
about, bro.
before many of you could pick up a baseball bat, wrap it in barbed wire, and start strutting around the apocalypse.
See, all I see is Shay, bro. Shay.
Pig!
And even if you did somehow manage to survive,
Bro, what? I'm leaving stream now. Bro, what are we talking about, gang? What are we talking about,
the
bro?
initial wave of domestic horror, your survival
Like that's-
would still boil
like all the shit y'all said is not crazy.
Luck. Because if you live in a major city, the odds are already stacked against you.
That's
Picture
so
hearing the
true.
chaotic news reports of a virus making
That's
people
so true.
uncontrollably violent while you sit alone in a high-rise apartment. You would have no idea what to do in those crucial first few
Holy
days.
fuck, I'd
Do you
actually be
fight
kinda
back against
fucked.
these crazed individuals chasing you down the street, or is there a vaccine on the way that can heal them all? But little do you know, the entire world is already infected and there is no cure coming. And even if you did decide to fight back for your life, how long would it take you to realize that body
Not
shots
us equals no
do
guns.
absolutely nothing against these things? And
That
the only way
don't-
to stop them is
That's
with
not
a
good for
direct
you.
blow to the brain. My point is, many people would die long before Rick Grimes even woke up from
That's
the
so
final
true.
of the series, as they just simply
Most of you are dying before this scene. I'm just gonna be so real with y'all. Most of y'all are dying. Not me, but most of y'all niggas are dying. Cause I'm not gonna lie, me. Fuck, bro. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I'm not.
would have no idea what threat they were dealing with.
I'm surviving.
And that's not to
I'm just gonna
mention,
be.
even if you did survive the
I'm surviving. I don't give a fuck.
/weeks of the apocalypse, how
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. In this case, there's a decent chance all of us are not surviving based on that first fact. I'm not gonna lie. So let's take that with a grain of salt. We understand that. And now let's see, can we survive, not including this one? Because this one is a big one, and yeah, we might not survive.
easy it would be to let your guard down for just a moment.
No,
and
I
get bitten
know I'm not
or have your
surviving,
camp
okay?
invaded by a
Valid.
passing horde of
Valid.
the dead. I mean, take Tyrese from the main TV series, for example. A 6-foot-tall, physically capable former NFL player is caught off guard by a singular walker. And later on in the show, we saw this with Carl Grimes as well. Just one lapse of judgment or one wrong turn could mean your end. Add to the fact you'd probably be sleep deprived, starving, and dehydrated.
All right,
and it
I'll see
makes
y'all
these
later.
mistakes
Shout out to you in
a
Discord.
lot
All right, W.
easier to occur.
Appreciate
So
you,
although
Towie.
the zombies from The Walking Dead might not be clicker level threats, they still possess a very
That's
real
Last of Us,
danger.
though, right?
Whether it's from a lack of knowledge,
Another game I've
being
not
caught
finished.
off guard, or the sheer numbers of them roaming around. But hey, at least walkers are somewhat in your control. The next factor is entirely based on your immune system.
Maybe at the very start of the zombie apocalypse is luck.
So now we've
after that
identified
skill,
just
okay,
one of
yeah,
the many-
that's a great point. Now, okay, we got through the luck. The first part was luck. Now let's get to skill.
The threats of survival.
Not all y'all niggas skilled
world,
like me.
Let's look into something that only further decreases your chances of survival. And that is, of course, the wildfire virus itself. So to
Okay.
understand why your immune system is your biggest liability here, we first have to look at how the wildfire virus itself actually operates.
Like
and
you,
this
exactly.
brings us nicely to one of the biggest plot twists in the entire series, and that is the secret Dr. Jenna whispers to Rick Grimes in season 1, revealing that everybody is infected, including living people.
Right.
What does this mean for your survival chances? Well, we all know the virus turns people into flesh-eating monsters and
Right.
relies on reanimated hosts to pass on the deadly
If we go based on
infection.
skill alone, I'm good.
But what people
Good with a
fail
bow
to
and
account
gun.
for, as seen
Okay.
throughout Fear the Walking Dead season 1, is a huge portion of the world's population flat out died from the virus.
We don't. Thing is, Dova, you gonna be out here? No, I'm actually not gonna let that slide, bro. Cause you gonna be out here. The zombies are coming. Okay, let me load up my bow. Wait. No. That's not the right air. Okay, hold on. Wait, the target's moving more than it does. Hold on. It's usually a circular wooden board Hold on. Stay circular. Stop moving. Stay circular. You're cooked, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You done archery for years? That's cool, bro. I got the machete. Ha. These zombies ain't doing nothing with that, bro. Come on, man.
Virus without being bitten.
Come on, guy.
Now, putting a number on just how many people died from this would be purely speculation, as it's never actually been stated in the series. But we can say with absolute certainty, your immune system might not be able to combat the initial infection in the first place.
Okay, so this is another luck thing.
No amount of combat training, stockpiling food, or rural living will protect you if you are one of the millions who simply fall sick and die on.
So there's a lot of luck involved.
Got it. Sink in.
I understand
August of 2010, the virus swept across the globe and infected everybody, laying dormant in billions. And you might just get genetically unlucky. So your body reacts poorly to the initial pathogen, you run a fatal fever, and you're basically dead before you even realize a zombie apocalypse is happening. And ultimately, this factor is totally.
I hate this. I get it. I get it.
Real threat that your immune system.
It's fair. We're kind of cooked so far. Give me one thing I can think I can survive, bro.
How the virus works, even if you or somebody else
John Bernthal, one of my favorite actors, he's amazing.
Like a heart
he's so talented.
Infection, for example, they will come back as a walker, which is why it's so hard to maintain a community in this environment, because all it takes is one non-walker related fatality, and it can cause.
That's so true,
if
though.
You're not extremely careful.
Other survivors, yeah. Okay, this is where I'm back.
If you haven't already gathered, there's a huge element of luck that goes into surviving the apocalypse, but things will now get worse. Let's assume you get genetically lucky, survive the copious amounts of walkers roaming around the streets, and none of your family get infected. Well, now you have to deal with the pleasure of other survivors.
This is fine. I deal with dumb motherfuckers all the time
in the real world. So now imagine a crazed psycho like the governor who has zero regard for human life and views you purely as an expendable asset, rolling up on you with a tank.
I have a tank.
A tank?
My point is, we quite clearly see in the series the biggest threats after the initial fall of society is other people.
That's fair. That is fair.
A background hazard. Make no mistake, the post-apocalyptic landscape is an utterly ruthless place.
No,
and
I'm not
it's
doing
usually
it.
the worst of the worst who will survive. The character of Dale sums this up perfectly in Season 2, where he describes this new world as now being survival of the fittest. When supplies are scarce, shelter is limited, and disagreements happen, unfortunately, people...
Do I need to watch the rest of the show?
Violence in order to solve disputes.
I think I got to Season 3.
We even see it in the real world. So when you remove the punishment and consequences of the law, it would basically become the purge on steroids. I think the absolute scariest part of the entire apocalypse
I think
would without a doubt be dealing with the other side.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll be so honest. Can we be honest for 2 seconds? And I still think this show is good. I was just getting the pattern, bro. Oh! With our community, we found a new safe place. This place! It's amazing! It's everything we've ever been looking for. Roll the credits, the show's over. Hold on. It's not that safe. Hold on. These things we can't trust. Hold on. Everybody's dead. What survivors we have? Let's take to the next spot. It's hopeless. There's nothing we can find. Hold on. This place looks great. Hold on. Another amazing spot. Hold on. This is the best place we've ever seen with a new community that loves us. Hold on. Roll the credits this time. No, this time roll the credits for real. This time it's the one. Hold on. It's not that. Hold on. People are dying. Hold on. We can't trust people. Nigga. And it goes on and on. I was just seeing a pattern. I'm sure other shit happens. I'm sure I'm talking out my ass because I didn't watch the whole show. I watched the first couple seasons. I got what I needed to, bro. And I moved on, bro.
Survivors. You let your guard down for 1 second or hesitate and someone else could kill you. You run the constant risk of raiders stealing your supplies.
It's got some hype moments. Yeah, I believe it's got hype moments.
And if your community's resources are getting tight, even your closest allies...
Literally surviving right now.
...share of the food is worth more than your own life. Ultimately, in order to survive, you would have to be incredibly careful of who you let into your group.
Facts. I mean, that's knowledge.
You run the risk of being overwhelmed by a larger group.
Facts.
If you go for the safety in numbers approach, someone you once trusted might betray you. To be brutally honest, I dread to think about all the atrocious acts once sophisticated people would be committing in an
it would literally be
murder,
the purge.
SA, cannibalism, theft, and much,
it would literally be the purge.
more. Add in layers of deceit, lies, and false hope, and it makes every single person you run into in your post-apocalyptic journey a potential death trap.
The thing is,
by the way,
I'm just gonna find me and like 4 bros. We're just gonna hold it down. 4 bros and 4 bad bitches. It's us against the world. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of the bad bitches. You had a spot as one of the niggas, and you took a bad bitch spot. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna stop you from living your dream.
Spoiler alert, you are not Rick Grimes, so you don't have the main character plot armor.
Wait, this nigga try to say Shaygoon ain't the main character? Hold on, slow your roll. Theo Hunt, slow your roll. Maybe I could be one of the mains. I'm on the first pick. Once I get my like 4 niggas that I'm rocking with, my 4 bad bitches I'm rocking with, we're not letting nobody else in.
No, the Claimers, the Wolves, the Whisperers, and the list goes on. And these are only the ones we see on screen. So think what else.
That is a great point though.
In a world of survival of the fittest, where hesitation becomes fatal,
like you go anywhere, you're dealing with a bunch of
and a deeply
villain type characters
to try and exist. And look, of course, I'm not saying every single person would be this evil lunatic.
But there would be a lot, though. There would be a lot.
The majority probably would be. And it's the sad, but ultimately realistic truth of human nature. Because when our backs are against the walls, we become desperate, selfish, and loyalties would very quickly go out.
You're the side character that gets killed off first. Why I gotta die first, Clancy? That seems a little racially charged and motivated. Why the black guy gotta die first in the horror / apocalyptic movie, bro? I think it's obvious. You kind of stupid. Okay, well, point prove it. I'm actually so smart though. The thing is, I'm actually so smart, bro. Say that again. All right, so I think we lost the point. It's okay. We lose the point. That happens sometimes. I don't think we need to focus on the video though.
Window. All it takes is you walking along one day and somebody hiding in the bushes decides they want your stuff, so they're going to kill you for it. Or you hesitate in pulling the trigger, realizing the severity of taking another human life, only to be beaten to it by that other person who shoots you first.
That's true.
Even worse, you walk into a settlement under the pretenses they will take you in.
I ain't gonna lie, this nigga thought of everything.
Find out it's a bunch of cannibals and you're on the menu tonight. At least with walkers, you know what to expect. A mindless pursuit of flesh. As humans are complicated, cunning, and deceitful, making them the most dangerous post-apocalyptic threat you could possibly find.
That's so true. City dangers? This one's easy. Just avoid the cities.
Now, this next factor plays heavily into your geographical location, which I did touch upon earlier, whilst also kind of linking to the other survivors section, because it's
I can live out in the country.
Military's reaction to the wildfire virus.
A quiet place would be 100 times worse. Whoa, I wonder if there's a video on that we could find. That would be worse. That would be worse. Because you're dealing with the same shit. You're dealing with the exact same shit that he's talking about here. And also, you gotta be quiet as fuck. Oh no, the quiet place is way worse. Holy shit, the quiet place is way worse, bro. Every zombie media is about humans becoming just evil. Zombies are just kind of like an annoyance. Low key, that's kind of true. The thing is, you would eventually need to go to cities because they would be the best. They would be the last place with resources. No, that's true. By the time you go to the city, you would have to have a large group. A large-ish group. And when you have a large-ish group, that brings other problems. Fuck, it's all bad, really. It's all bad. You'd have to find and protect the Costco warehouse or some shit. And even then, you getting cooked after a while, probably. I don't even know, bro. We're cooked.
America. In the first few
Not
days
a single
of the outbreak,
positive,
local
no.
police departments quickly became overwhelmed, hospitals filled up, and riots broke out nationwide.
No, not a single. I mean, there's no traffic,
dispatched
so
into major cities across America, setting up
I
safe
guess.
zones in strategic areas in order to try and regain control from the undead. This, however, would very quickly prove futile, as after just over a week of trying to retake the cities, morale, supplies, and exhaustion quickly overwhelmed the soldiers. as they not only fought an utterly relentless foe, but were also dramatically outnumbered with central areas of cities.
Yeah, that's bad. That's all really bad. That's all really, really bad.
For you is if you were a civilian and you lived in a city across America, you would have to get incredibly lucky to already be living within an area the military fenced off and protected as a quote-unquote safe zone.
Oh my God, he's cooking. That's a great point.
Hell. After things went bad, many people tried to exit the cities, in turn blocking up all the highways.
That's the thing I always think about for a zombie movie. Getting out of a city, bro, everyone's trying to get out. It's GG's. You're cooked. The only niggas that are getting out are niggas that have motorcycles or scooters or bikes or shit like that. If you take a car, like you could try to take a car, but put a bike in the back of that bitch. Because once it gets packed up, that's the only way you getting out with any type of speed. And even then, you're going to have to like bob and weave through some shit.
Making escape for you via
Why you keep saying that you bricked?
Possible. To make things even worse, the military were ordered to contain the virus. So in turn, they shot anything that moved outside of safe zones, whether you were infected or not. So unless you were in one of these military zones, you'd be playing a constant and very deadly game of hide and seek versus the people who were sent in to supposedly save you.
Move to Area 51. That's what happened during a big tornado.
Riots of angry survivors plagued the country. Your chances of being stuck in a city and trying to survive outside of a military safe zone would be very slim. But even if you were lucky enough to be in a safe zone, you wouldn't fare much better.
That's crazy, Clancy.
As some camps became overrun, but the worst was yet to come. Because after the military realized they weren't going to be able to take back America's cities, they initiated a plan to try and neutralize the virus.
Which is just wipe everyone out?
The military would evacuate their posts and their safe zones, telling no civilians. And only a matter of hours later, before some had even realized their retreat, the city would be bombed with napalm. This top-secret mission was dubbed Operation Cobalt, and the only way in Fear the Walking Dead our survivors find out about this classified operation.
I don't know, I'm just stimming Shay thumbnails. That is crazy. I'm brick. 5 broke me. Emotional heater. Yeah, I do be... It's so crazy when you put them together like that. It does sound crazy, but like, bro, the shit work. You gotta do what work, bro. It worked, bro.
Is by literally capturing and torturing a soldier. For many, whilst sound asleep in their supposed safe zones or whilst fighting for their lives outside of them, they would be met by a constant bombardment of bombs. This would not only kill millions of survivors, but also only add to the Walker problem as people subsequently die.
Not only you gotta worry about just regular injury, dying in the first wave of people who don't understand what's going on. You run into a family member or a friend and you go that way. You deal with other humans. You have to go to a city. You could get bombed on. It's over with, bro. This shit over with, bro.
Operation Cobalt was a colossal military fail and led to the collapse of their control. But this failure meant if you lived in pretty much every city across America, except Philadelphia and Portland, who managed to escape this fate, you would almost certainly be killed. As for cities outside of America, like Paris, London, and Barcelona, although not bombed, we see they fared incredibly poorly as well due to the sheer density of people.
That's so
in the
true.
World, dead, just merely existing in a city essentially becomes a death sentence.
That's actually so true. Protect your purpose.
I think often one of the most overlooked
Are you reading my Twitter now? What's going on, Azar?
Is the mental aspect of it. Let's quickly assume you are within the 1% of survivors, and although the odds aren't in your favor,
this is where we lose Dova. Right here is where we lose Dova.
There is definitely a chance you might survive. While the chances of the people you once loved also be...
Yes, I got Twitter. I need to do such a better job of promoting my social media. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
In that 1%, let's just say, are not in your favor. Let's look at Rick Grimes, for example, and just take a second to think about how mentally taxing his journey through the apocalypse.
Y'all not built like me and Rick, though. I'll tell you right now.
Friends, love interests, and watch neither
y'all not built like me.
Closest allies skulls in with a baseball bat. I don't care what anybody says. This is going to have some serious mental repercussions on an...
What would you lose me to? We'll lose you to
let me give you
the mental toll. Because you said you blow your shit smooth off in game.
War II. Each and every brave soul who fought on that battlefield didn't go into it thinking, yeah, this is definitely going to mentally break me for the rest of my existence.
GG's.
But for many of them, unfortunately, it did. On top of this, cases of PTSD only rose in prisoners of war.
Hey, bro, I wouldn't have my Nintendo Switch, so I understand.
Away from the ordeal with the illness, which just proves the human brain in most cases will just break after witnessing terrifying or highly distressing
We gotta get you one of those survival shows, bro.
Or Reality Check, like...
I'm not gonna lie. If I just gotta be out in nature and shit, at least in a zombie apocalypse, I can like stay in a house and shit. If I have to stay in the woods and like build, yeah, bro.
You would be seeing in the apocalypse.
I would get like
I'm watching your family and
cottage in the, you know what I mean?
Flesh-eating monsters, or seeing
or
them killed in front of your very own eyes is going to mentally destroy you. I think some people would just flat out opt out of existing in a world like this, and others would let it drive them insane. And whilst yes, we all like to think we'd be Rick Grimes dropping some insanely cold one-liners.
Yeah.
I already made you a promise.
The harsh reality is, most of us would more likely resemble a character like Clara from season 4 of the show. A woman who,
didn't
after
get that
the death
far.
of her husband, clings on to survival, but is depressed, delirious, and all alone. Until one day, Rick stumbles upon her. She tries to lure Rick back to her camp and use him as food for her reanimated husband in a state of delirium. But after he fights her off, she just asks to be left alone to die. As ugly and depressing as it may sound, most of our brains just aren't geared to witness the type of horrors an apocalypse would throw at them.
Cause like chat, y'all couldn't fucking beat the lava boss in Lies of P, bro. Y'all don't got the mental fortitude to beat the lava boss in Lies of P, bro. And who did that shit? It's your favorite streamer. I did beat him. Dova, you might have missed the stream where I beat him, but I have video footage. I just have not released the video. The lava boss was defeated. Yes, the fuck I do. Okay, maybe Azar does. I forgot Azar. After how many attempts? That's not the important part. If we want to talk about attempts, on attempt number 2 or 3, I basically beat him. Then I just had a really bad cold streak. I've beaten every Souls games if this is what we're measuring off. Okay, all right. I don't like the way the chat's going, so we're gonna go back to the video.
Break and
I don't like how that was trending for me.
Of their former selves, resulting in survivors breaking mentally long before they did physically.
Supplies and resources. Yeah, this is the real one. Yeah.
In the world of The Walking Dead, as soon as the date hit August 27th, known in the universe as Monument Day, a timer essentially begins.
Yeah.
As this is the point food and other resources
that's such a good point.
being produced, and the longer into the apocalypse you go, the more depleted supplies will become.
Yeah.
Now, sure, you could try and grow your own food or hunt and fish, but unless you have some basic knowledge in these areas, you'll probably really struggle. We saw in the real world during a certain 2020 global pandemic how people picked the shops clean, leading to global shortages in certain goods. Well, now imagine the impact.
Bro, who remembers the like weekend before COVID really hit? I was playing basketball, and as I was leaving, I was like, oh, they had some hand sanitizer at the front. I'm like, oh yeah. I was talking to the lady. I'm like, can I get the hand sanitizer? She's like, yeah, sure. And she kind of like smiled at me. At that time, coronavirus talk was in the news. And I was like wiping my hands and shit. And a bunch of niggas I just who were like, yo, this nigga scared of the corona? Yo, mans are scared of corona, bro. You know that's a beer thing, eh? I'm like, all right, bro. I'm just keeping my hands clean, bro. I'm saying. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I hear shit is like really going on. I'm like, okay. I go to the store to get something else. The line is around the whole grocery store to check out. I've never seen that many people in the store. I bought a brand of toilet paper I don't even know, because I'm like, am I not gonna have any left? I had to buy General Towel toilet paper, bro. I've never seen that situation before. I don't know what brand that was. They don't wash hands after they piss, snitch on themselves. I mean, potentially. All I'm saying, it was a crazy fucking time. This was like a flashback to that, bro.
Zombie apocalypse would have on people's mindsets. They'd loot, steal, and pick clean everything from supermarkets and pharmacies in the first few hours of the outbreak. And after Operation Cobalt decimated the cities, just think about how many supplies were burnt to a crisp in the bombings.
Fifth grade? That's crazy, bro.
A daily struggle. The moment the electrical
I was not in 5th grade, I'll say that much.
Shut down, and the pristine tap water we completely take for granted now would just flat out be gone. If you resorted to drinking from stagnant ponds, lakes, or local rivers without the means to properly purify or boil it, you aren't just quenching your thirst.
Do we understand how crazy that was?
With a plethora of water.
Like, we're talking about something that's gonna be in textbooks forever, bro. That did not happen to your parents. That did not happen to your parents' parents. That might have happened to your parents' parents' parents. That shit is not normal, bro. Yeah, now I'm gonna say it could not happen to your kids. It could not happen to your kids' kids. Not gonna lie. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. The world was not prepared for that in any shape or fashion. Also, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. There was a while where YouTube was like auto-locking those videos out.
Born pathogens every time you take a sip. And in a
probably not anymore.
Zero operating hospitals and no access
during World War II, there was okay, fair.
Even the smallest of sicknesses could become fatal.
That's your parents' parents at that point. So yeah,
most people have absolutely no idea how to grow crops, let alone
that's your parents' maybe
land without commercial fertilizers, pesticides, and modern machinery. Your only option would be to scavenge the odd bits of food you could find, and possibly hunt if you had the knowledge and know-how.
Flu.
But as the weeks turned to months and then
did niggas not know of the oil of oregano?
The challenge would only further increase. Canned goods would expire, medicine would lose its potency, and gasoline would degrade so much it became basically useless, rendering any vehicles you had essentially worthless. Every single day would become a frantic and exhausting calculation of calories spent versus the calories gained.
Oil of oregano! Come on, boy.
Of starvation, leaving you weak, dizzy, and prone to fatal mistakes. And on top of this, your search for supplies would often take you to uncharted territories, leaving you at risk of being ambushed by the people who live there, or just having your camp raided in your absence. And finally, without the use of vehicles, you'd have to be physically fit as well to be able to outrun walkers,
that's so true.
maybe even other survivors, and your cardiovascular endurance would be essential to survival in this environment.
Y'all niggas been hitting the treadmill? I ain't gonna lie, I just realized how cooked we are.
Like to imagine
we're so cooked.
This, in reality, most of us would probably look something like that. Because in order to survive the world of the Walking Dead, you'd have to survive a dormant airborne virus on day one. You'd have to guess the correct rules of the undead in a world where zombie media doesn't exist.
I think I covered like 3 or 4 times. I would have no idea how many times I did.
While the military,
if I did at all,
you outsmart the often hostile other survivors, avoid losing your mind from the witness, and somehow find clean water and food every single day.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy.
The reality of it is the vast majority of us wouldn't be the heroes of this story. We'd either be part of the infected herds wandering aimlessly through the landscape, or be like Clara, an emotional wreck after the death of our loved ones. Because ultimately, survival in this environment is brutal, and it isn't.
Last time I hit a gym was a Pokemon Go raid. I might be cooked. Jesus. Ew, that's funny as fuck. Ah, Jesus.
Because it mostly boils down to a horrifying.
Yeah, it's probably not going. It's probably not looking good for us. I saw Twitch.tv. It's probably not looking good for us.
That is why 99% of us just wouldn't.
99%.
I mean, the numbers from the series don't lie. But who knows? Maybe the future Rick Grimes of the apocalypse is watching this very video. And in that case, I apologize for severely underestimating your ability.
Apology accepted.
You got me.
Look, I better than anybody understand how easy The Walking Dead may look to survive.
He knew I was watching this. That's crazy.
The apocalypse you could find yourself in fiction, it would still take a colossal effort just to stay alive. But with that being said, let me know down below in the comments how long you think you'd survive The Walking Dead apocalypse. If you enjoyed today's video, please do like, subscribe, and hype the video if you're on mobile, as it helps the channel out a ton.
Chat, are y'all surviving a year? Are y'all surviving the first year?
But once again, a huge thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
I'm not gonna lie, me, yeah, I'm surviving a cool 3.5 years minimum. But you know, it's all good. We're not all the same, chat. At the end of the day, we're not all the same. It's important to understand when there's leaders, and you know what I'm saying. I'd die fast, I'd survive, I'd win. They said I win like it's a video game, bro. Yeah.